Yo, it's Yerk, and today I'm going to teach you how to recreate the Fortnitemares shadows in Fortnite Creative. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to make Fortnitemares shadows a part of your next Fortnite Creative map. But before we get started, if you guys enjoyed this video at any point, please do me a favor and drop a like, hit subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and all that stuff. But now, let's get to this tutorial. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab all of the devices that we're going to need to do this. So going down the list, we're going to need a HUD message device, a class designer, a class selector, a team settings and inventory device, the power-ups gallery, an attribute trigger, a regular trigger, and last but certainly not least, a mutator zone. Now that we have all of our devices in our hotbar, we're going to start by placing down our team settings and inventory device. Open up the settings, and the first setting we want to change is player names and locations. We're going to set this to always hide. Then we're going to go down and we're going to find the respawn time, and we want to set this to 1 second. Then we're also going to set the spawn limit to 2. And then we can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to set when team member eliminated transmit on channel 1. Then go ahead and click OK, and next we're going to set up the shadow classes. So start by placing down a class designer, and we're going to name this class Shadow. Then we're going to set this class to identifier 1, and then we're going to set equip granted item to the first item. Next we need to set up the health, and since shadows only have 100 health, we're going to set starting shields and max shields to none. Then we want to find the movement multiplier setting, and we're going to set this to 2.0. Next we want to turn on infinite ammo, but we're going to turn off infinite resources. Then we're going to set eliminated players items and eliminated players resources to delete. And then we're going to find the fall damage setting, and we want to turn this off as well. And then to recreate their jumping ability, we're going to set the gravity setting to low. Make sure that you also turn off jump fatigue as well. Then for player names and location, we're going to set this to always hide, and then we want to find the glider redeploy setting, and we want to just make sure that this is off. Then we're going to set allow building to none. Then we want to find the spawn location setting, and we want to set this to the sky. And for health granted on elimination, we want to set this to 100 to simulate them consuming items to regain health in Fortnitemares. Then we're going to set max building resources to 0 and allow item drop and item pickup to no as well. Lastly, we want to find the harvest multiplier setting, and we want to set this to 0 and then click OK. Next, you need to go to your consumables tab in your creative inventory, and we want to grab a shadow bomb. Then you just want to drag and drop into your class designer. Then we're actually just going to copy and paste this down again, and this time we're just going to open up the settings, and we're going to change the class name to Shadow Reveal, and we're going to change the class identifier to class 2. And then we're going to leave all the rest of the settings the exact same, except for we want to find player names and locations, and we want to set this to always show. Then click OK, and now we need to set up a class selector. So pull up your class selector and place it down and open up the settings. We're going to set class to switch to class 1, then set the time to switch to instant. Make sure that you set restore health and shields on switch to no, and we're going to set clear items on switch to all items. Then scrolling down to the bottom, we want to set change player to class when receiving from channel 1 and when class switch to transmit on channel 2. Then we're going to copy and paste down a second class selector, and we're going to open up the settings, and we're going to set class to switch to class 2, and we're going to change the change player to class setting to channel 4 and when switched transmit on channel 4. Now we're going to set up the visual effects, and we're going to start by placing down an attribute trigger. Open up the settings, and we're going to start with check for class. We want to set this to class 1, and then we're going to set listen to channel 2. Then if all checks are valid, we want it to transmit on channel 5, and click OK. And now we need to put down a mutator zone. I have it put down right here for the sake of this tutorial, but you're going to want to put it underneath your map somewhere, or just somewhere where it's out of the way and it'll cover the entire area. So place it down, open up the settings, and we're going to set allow weapon fire to yes, because obviously we want people to be able to shoot. And then we're going to set length, width, and height to 100. Then we want to set on player entering zone, we want it to transmit on channel 2, and on player starts emoting, transmit on channel 3. I'll get into why we need to do that later. Now we need to place down our visual effects gallery, which is the french fries. So go ahead and just delete the french fries, and we're just going to start with this orb. Open up the settings and set the color to fuchsia, and set time to respawn to instant, and we're going to set it to pick up when receiving from channel 5. Now copy and paste this down again, and we're just going to change the effect from glow to outline. Leave all the rest of the settings the same and click OK. And now for the damage amplifier. Go ahead and open up the settings, and we're going to set the effect duration to infinite and the time to respawn to instant. Then set pick up when receiving from channel 5. Now place down a trigger, and this is going to act as a failsafe because for some reason sometimes the class selector doesn't transmit right. So just set the delay to 10 seconds, and then we're going to set trigger when receiving from channel 1 and when triggered transmit on channel 2. That way, just in case it doesn't transmit, they will for sure have all the visual effects and they will be a shadow. Now we're going to get into the reveal ability. So we have it set up so the mutator zone to transmits on channel 3 when a player emotes. So we need to set up an attribute trigger, and we're going to set this to check for class 1. Then we want to set the reset delay to 20 seconds. And next we're going to set listen to channel 3. So if a player emotes, it'll check to make sure that they are a shadow or not. And if they are a shadow, we want it to transmit on channel 4. And remember, channel 4 turns players into our shadow reveal class that has player names and locations turned on. So now we need to change them back. So we're going to set up a timer device, and we want to open up the timer device settings, and you want to set the duration to 5 seconds. Then we're going to set auto start to off and turn audio off. Then set start when receiving from channel 4 and reset when receiving from channel 1. And lastly, we also want to set when complete transmit on channel 1. This will effectively change players back to the regular shadow class, but now we need to have some sort of way to explain to players how to use the reveal ability. So place down a HUD message device and set the message to emote to reveal. Then set message recipient to triggering player. And next we're going to turn time from round start to off. And we're going to set the display time to permanent. And for the text style, I like bold because it doesn't take up too much room and it looks really nice, and it doesn't block anything useful or necessary on the screen, but they'll still be able to see it. Then we're going to set show when receiving from channel 5 and hide when receiving from channel 4. Then just copy and paste another one down, and we're just going to change the message to reveal on cooldown. Then we're going to go down to the display time setting, and we want to change this to 20 seconds. For text style, we still want to keep it bold, and we want to keep it on the center right for placement. We're just going to change show when receiving from to channel 4 and make the hide when receiving from setting back to no channel. Now we just need to start the game and test it out. So we spawn in and we're just a regular player, but if we die, so let me respawn quick, and when we respawn, we will spawn in the sky and we will have shadow bombs in our inventory. And we will also have the visual effects and the movement of the shadows. Now if we emote, we can see that we will change classes, and the text on screen shows the reveal ability is now on cooldown, and after 5 seconds we get changed back to the regular classes. Now if we die again, we will be out, and since I'm alone, the game will end. But that is how you make Fortnitemares shadows in Fortnite Creative. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like, hit subscribe, do whatever you want to do and all that stuff. Feel free to check out some of my other videos that are on screen now. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay up.